Good morning to you all. This is the review of the Monetary Policy Stance number 6 of 2018 press conference. I would like to take you through the domestic and global developments that the Monetary Board considered in arriving at the monetary policy decision yesterday. Starting with global conditions, tight monetary policy conditions are observed globally with the continuous strengthening of the US dollar. In advanced countries, the Fed raised short-term interest rates for a third time in 2018 and signaled further rate hikes with one more increase in December 2018, followed by 3 rate hikes in 2019. The Bank of England increased its policy rates in August 2018. The European Central Bank is expected to end its asset purchase program by end 2018 and consider the first deposit rate hike by the summer of 2019. In line with the Fed fund rate hikes, US Treasury yields have also increased. Tight conditions have accelerated capital outflows from emerging economies, resulting in depreciation of local currencies. Significant outflows from financial markets in EMEs have been observed in recent months. In response, EMEs, with pressure on local currencies, have tightened their monetary policy stance by raising policy interest rates. Bank Indonesia increased its benchmark rate in September 2018 for the 5th time so far in 2018. The Philippine Central Bank raised its interest rate again on 27 September 2018 for the 4th time in 2018. RBI raised its benchmark policy rate on 1st August 2018 for the 2nd time in the year. External sector recorded a mixed performance while the exchange rate depreciated at a faster rate of 9.7 so far in 2018. The trade deficit continued to expand during the first 7 months as import growth outpaced export growth. The substantial surge in import expenditure was mainly driven by the growth in imports of fuel, personal vehicles, and gold. Service-related inflows, such as tourism, performed notably. Outflows of foreign investments from the government securities market, however, exerted pressure on the balance of payments. High import growth and capital outflows exerted significant pressure on the exchange rate. The central bank intervened to curtail disorderly adjustment in the exchange rate during the first few weeks of September 2018. In addition, the central bank and the government introduced a raft of policy measures to reduce the pressure on the exchange rate. There was a 15% customs duty imposed on gold imports. There was also an upward revision to taxes on small vehicle imports. We also imposed a 100% margin deposit requirement against LCs open for the importation of vehicles for non-commercial purposes. On 29 September, the margin deposit requirement was increased to 200% for LCs open for the importation of vehicles for non-commercial purposes. Concessionary vehicle permits were suspended, and LCs were not allowed for concessionary vehicle permits. The LTV ratio for hybrid vehicles was also reduced from 70% to 50%, and a 100% cash margin imposed on selected non-essential consumer goods imports. These measures are expected to ease the excessive demand for foreign currency and hence the pressure in the domestic foreign exchange market, as already observed in the stabilizing exchange rate. Moderate growth in the domestic economy is expected to pick up. The economy grew by 3.7% in the second quarter of 2018. A continuation of the recovery in agriculture activities was witnessed. Growth in services was mainly supported by the expansion in financial service activities and wholesale and retail trade. Growth in industry was largely buoyed by manufacturing activities, while construction also recorded a moderate growth. For the first half of 2018, GDP growth was 3.6%. The economy is expected to expand during the remaining quarters of the year at a rate higher than the first half of 2018. Inflation is expected to remain within the 4 to 6% target range despite recent transitory price pressures. Headline inflation decelerated in September 2018, primarily due to the decrease in volatile food prices. However, upward price revisions to domestic petroleum products and other administered prices, as well as imported inflation arising from the impact of the currency depreciation, could exert some pressure on inflation in the coming months. Despite these transitory pressures, inflation is likely to taper further on the back of decelerating food prices and favorable base effect. With appropriate policy adjustments, inflation is expected to remain at desired levels over the medium term. Short-term interest rates have responded to domestic market conditions. Short-term interest rates have adjusted upwards in response to the prevailing tight liquidity condition in the domestic money market. Yields on government securities increased in both the primary and secondary markets. Lending interest rates in many market segments continue to remain at elevated levels. Real interest rates continue to remain high. Sri Lanka's real interest rates remain well above several peer EMEs, reflecting an already tightening bias in monetary policy. Credit to the private sector continued to decelerate, buttressing the moderation of broad money growth in August 2018. On average, broad money growth decelerated to 15.5% during the first 8 months of 2018 from 20.1% in the corresponding period in 2017. Broad money growth remained unchanged at 13.5% in the month of August, as in July 2018. Private sector credit growth was 14.3% in August in comparison to 14.7% in July. Credit to the private sector increased by rupees 46 billion in August in comparison to rupees 46.5 billion in July. These trends in monetary and credit expansion indicate greater monetary stability, which is consistent with the envisaged medium-term growth path of the country. Taking these factors into consideration, the Monetary Board decided to maintain policy interest rate at their current levels. Therefore, the standing deposit facility rate remains at 7.25%, the standing lending facility rate at 8.50%, and the statutory reserve ratio remains unchanged at 7.50%. The decision of the Monetary Board is consistent with the aim of stabilizing inflation at mid-single digit levels in the medium term to support growth. Thank you.
අද දින ශ්‍රී ලංකා මහ බැංකුව 2018 වසරේ 6 වන මුදල් ප්‍රතිපත්ති නිවේදනය විවරණය නිකුත් කළා. එහිදී සලකා බලන ලද සාධක පිළිබඳ ඉතාම සංක්ෂිප්ත විවරණයක් මෙමගින් ඉදිරිපත් කරන්නට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. අපි දකිනවා ජාත්‍යන්තර වාතාවරණය නිරීක්ෂණය කරනකොට එක්සත් ජනපද ඩොලරය අඛණ්ඩව ශක්තිමත් වෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන් එක්සත් ජනපදයේ ෆෙඩරල් සංචිත බැංකුව සිය පොලි අනුපාතික කීප වතාවක් ඉහළ දැම්මා 2018 අවුරුද්දේ. ඒ වගේම ඉදිරි වසරේදීත් තවදුරටත් මෙම පොලි අනුපාතක ඉහළ යනු ඇතයි අපේක්ෂා කරනවා. වෙනත් ප්‍රධාන මහ බැංකු එංගලන්ත මහ බැංකුව ඒ වගේම යුරෝපීය මහ බැංකුවත් මේ ආදී වශයෙන් සිය ප්‍රතිපත්ති පොලි අනුපාතික තවදුරටත් ඉහළ නංවන්නට ඉඩ ඇතැයි අපේක්ෂා කෙරෙනවා. ඒතර අපි නිරීක්ෂණය කළොත් ජාත්‍යන්තර වෙළඳපොලේ පොලි අනුපාතික ඉහළ යන වාතාවරණයක් මේ වන විට පවතින්නේ. මෙම දැඩි මුදල් ප්‍රතිපත්ති ස්ථාවරය සහ එම තත්ත්වයන් සමග විශේෂයෙන් අපි නිරීක්ෂණය කරන දෙයක් තමයි නැගී එන වෙළඳපොළ ආර්ථිකයන් සහිත රටවල් වලට කියන්නේ දියුණු වෙමින් පවතින රටවල් වලට විශාල වශයෙන් පීඩනයක් එල්ල වෙමින් පවතිනවා. විශේෂයෙන් එම රටවල ප්‍රාග්ධන ප්‍රවාහ ආයෝජන පිටතට විශාල වශයෙන් මෑතදී ගලා යාමක් දකින්න පුළුවන්. ඒත් එක්කම එම රටවල් වල විනිමය අනුපාතික එක්සත් ජනපද ඩොලරයට සාපේක්ෂව ඊටාම වේගයෙන් අප්‍රමාණය වෙමින් පවතිනවා. විශේෂයෙන් ඉන්දියානු රුපියල ඉන්දුනීසියාවේ විනිමය අනුපාතිකය මේ ආදී විනිමය අනුපාතිකය වේගයෙන් අප්‍රමාණය වෙමින් පවතිනවා. මෙම තත්ත්වයන්ට ප්‍රතිචාර වශයෙන් මෙම රටවල් ඔවුන්ගේ ප්‍රතිපත්ති පොලි අනුපාතික ඉහළ නැංවීම මගින් මුදල් ප්‍රතිපත්ති ස්ථාවරය දැඩි කරලා තියෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන් ඉන්දුනීසියානු මහ බැංකුව, පිලිපීන මහ බැංකුව, ඉන්දීය සංචිත බැංකුව මේ සියලුම මහ බැංකු කිහිප වතාවක් සිය පොලි අනුපාතික ඉහළ නංවා තිබෙනවා. අපි දේශීය ආර්ථිකය සැලකුවොත් විශේෂයෙන් විදේශීය අංශයේ පීඩනයක් වගේම මිශ්‍ර ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වයක් දකින්න පුළුවන්. අපි බැලුවොත් එහෙම ඇතැම් අංශ වෙළඳ හිඟය ඉතා වේගයෙන් පුළුල් වෙලා තියෙනවා වසරේ පළවෙනි මාස 7 ඇතුළත. විශේෂයෙන් ආනයන වියදම අපනයන ආදායම් ඉක්මවා වැඩි වේගයකින් වර්ධනය වීම හේතුවෙන් විශේෂයෙන් ඛනිජ තෙල් ආනයනය ඒ වගේම පෞද්ගලික පරිහරණය සඳහා රථවාහන ආනයනය, රන් ආනයනය විශාල වශයෙන් ඉහළ යාමක් මේ වසර තුලදී දකින්න පුළුවන්. සේවාංශය ආශ්‍රිතව කිසියම් වූ යහපත් ප්‍රවණතාවන් තිබුණත් විශේෂයෙන් සංචාරක එපයීම් වගේ දේවල් ඒ වගේම වෙනත් මූල්‍ය ප්‍රවාහ දකින්නට ලැබුණත් අපි දකිනවා අපේ විදේශීය අංශය මත ඉහළ පීඩනයක් එල්ල වෙමින් පවතිනවා. විශේෂයෙන් රාජ්‍ය සුරකුම්පත් මත විදේශිකයන් සිදු කරලා තියෙන ආයෝජන මේ වන විට ඉහළට ඉවතට ඇදී යාමක් අපිට නිරීක්ෂණය කරන්න පුළුවන් නිසා මෙම ඉහළ ආනයන වියදමත් ඒ වගේම ප්‍රාග්ධන ප්‍රවාහ පිටතට ඇදී යාමත් නිසා අපේ විනිමය අනුපාතිකය මත ඉතා ඉහළ පීඩනයක් මෑතදී දකින්න පුළුවන් වුණා. ඒ අනුව 2018 මේ දක්වා කාලය තුල විනිමය අනුපාතිකය එහෙම නැත්නම් රුපියල එක්සත් ජනපද ඩොලරයට සාපේක්ෂව 9.7කින් පමණ පිරිහිලා තියෙනවා. මෙම තත්ත්වය මේ අක්‍රමවත් හැසිරීම වළක්වන්න මහ බැංකුව විනිමය වෙළඳපොළට මැදිහත් වුණා සැප්තැම්බර් මාසයේ මුල් සති කිහිපය තුල වැඩි වශයෙන්. ඊට අමතරව මහ බැංකුව සහ රජය විවිධ ක්‍රියාමාර්ග අනුගමනය කළා විනිමය අනුපාතිකය මත තියෙන මේ පීඩනය අවම කරන්න. විශේෂයෙන් ඔබ දන්නවා අප්‍රේල් සහ සැප්තැම්බර් කාලය තුල රන් ආනයන මත බදු පැනෙව්වා, වාහන ආනයන මත තියෙන බදු වෙනස් කරා. ඒ වගේම තවත් ණයවර ලිපි විවෘත කිරීමේදී විවිධ තන්පතු අවශ්‍යතා මහ බැංකුව සහ රජයත් එක්ව පැනෙව්වා. නමුත් විනිමය අනුපාතිකය මත තියෙන පීඩනය තීව්‍ර වීමත් සමග සැප්තැම්බර් 29 වෙනිදා මහ බැංකුවත් රජයත් පියවර ගණනාවක් එකවර අනුගමනය කළා. ඒ අනුව අපි ණයවර ලිපි විවෘත කරනවා නම් වාණිජමය නොවන රථවාහන ආනයනය කිරීමේදී 200%ක තැන්පතුවක් තබන්නට අවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. ඒත් එක්කම තීරුබදු සහන සහිත වාහන ගෙන්වීම සඳහා නිකුත් කරන තියෙන බලපත්‍ර තාවකාලිකව අත්හිටවා තිබෙනවා. ඒ වගේම දැනට නිකුත් කරලා තියෙන බලපත්‍ර සඳහා ණයවර ලිපි නිකුත් නොකිරීමට වාණිජ බැංකු වලට අනකොට තිබෙනවා. ඒ වගේම දෙමුහුන් වාහන එහෙම නැත්නම් හයිබ්‍රිඩ් රථ වාහන සඳහා ණය වටිනාකම් අනුපාතිකය අඩු කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම අත්‍යවශ්‍ය නොවන පාරිභෝගික භාණ්ඩ ආනයනය කිරීම සඳහා 100%ක මුදල් තැන්පතුවක් පවත්වා ගත යුතු වෙනවා. මෙම පියවර මාලාව හේතුවෙන් විනිමය අනුපාතිකය සහ විදේශීය විනිමය වෙළඳපොළ මත තියෙන පීඩනය අවම වෙනු ඇතැයි මහ බැංකුව බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. අපි දැනටමත් දකිනවා විනිමය අනුපාතිකයේ කිසියම් වූ ස්ථාවර වීමක්. ආර්ථිකයේ මූර්තාංශය එහෙම නැත්නම් නිෂ්පාදනාංශය සලකා බැලුවොත් 2018 දෙවන කාර්තුව තුල ආර්ථිකයේ 3.7කින් වර්ධනය වෙලා තියෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන් කෘෂිකාර්මික සහ සේවාංශයේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් කාර්මිකාංශයේ කිසියම් මන්දගාමී වර්ධනයක් වාර්තා වෙනවා. අපි හිතනවා ආර්ථිකයේ ඉදිරි කාර්තු තුල කිසියම් වූ සැලකිය යුතු වර්ධනයක් විශේෂයෙන් පළවෙනි භාගයට වඩා ඉහළ වර්ධනයක් ඉදිරි කාර්තු දෙක තුල වාර්තා වනු ඇතැයි අපේක්ෂා කරනවා. උද්දමනයත් මේ වන විට පවතින්නේ මහා බැංකුවේ අපේක්ෂිත පරාසය වන 4.4 සහ 6 අතර පරාසයේ අපි දැක්කා తాවකාලික වශයෙන් මිල ඉහළ යාමක් ජුලි සහ අගෝස්තු මාසවල. නමුත් සැප්තැම්බර් මාසයේදී විශේෂයෙන් ආහාර මිල ගණන්වල මිල පහළ යාම නිසා ආහාර අයිතම වල මිල ගණන් පහළ යාම නිසා අපි දකිනවා මතුපිට උද්දමනයේ අඩුවීමක්. ඉදිරියේදී උද්දමනයේ කිසියම් ඉහළ යාමක් දකින්නට පුළුවන් අපි අපේක්ෂා කරනවා. හේතුව ඉදිරියේදී යම් මිල සංශෝධන සිදු කෙරෙන්න පුළුවන් ඛනිජ තෙල් මිල ගණන්වල. ඒ වගේම අපි දකිනවා විනිමය අනුපාතය ආව ප්‍රමාණය වුණාම ආනයනික උද්දමනය කිසියම් වූ ඉහළ යාමක් දකින්න පුළුවන්. මොකද ආනයනික භාණ්ඩ ඉහළ යාම නිසා මිල ගණන් යම් ඉහළ යාමක් ඉදිරියේදී බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එසේ වුවත් මෙම తాවකාලික මිල ඉහළ යාම ඉදිරියේදී අපි දකිනවා ආහාර මිල ගණන් තවදුරටත් අඩුවීමේ ප්‍රවණතාවක් පැවතිය හැකි. ඒ නිසා తాවකාලික මිල ගණන් ඉහළ යාම අඩු වෙනු ඇතයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන් මැදි කාලයේදී අපි හිතනවා මහා බැංකුවේ නිවැරදි සහ විචක්ෂණශීලී ප්‍රතිපත්ති ක්‍රියාමාර්ග කල් තියා ගන්නා ක්‍රියාමාර්ග හේතුවෙන් උද්දමනය අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන මට්ටමේ පවතී කියලා. කෙටිකාලීන පොලි අනුපාතිකවල කිසියම් ඉහළ යාමක් අපිට දකින්නට පුළුවන්. ඔබ දන්නවා වෙළඳ පොළ පවතින්නේ දැඩි මුදල් තත්ත්වයක්, ද්‍රවශීලතා හිඟයක් පවතිනවා. ඒ නිසා කෙටිකාලීන පොලි අනුපාතික මෑතදී ඉහළ ගියා. රාජ්‍ය සුරකුම්පත් මත තියෙන පළදා අනුපාතික එහෙම නැත්නම් පොලි අනුපාතික ඉහළ ගියා. වෙළඳපොළ වෙනත් පොලි අනුපාතික විශේෂයෙන් ණය පොලි අනුපාතික ඉහළ මට්ටම් වල දැනටත් අපිට නිරීක්ෂණය කරන්න පුළුවන්. විශේෂයෙන් මූර්ත පොලි අනුපාතික ඒ කියන්නේ උද්දමනය අඩු කරාට පසු අපි ගලපා ගන්නා පොලි අනුපාතිකයේ මූර්ත අනුපාතිකය කියලා කියනවා. මූර්ත පොලි අනුපාතික ඉහළ මට්ටමක පවතින්නේ. ඔබ සසඳා බැලුවොත් අපේ සම රටවල් නැගියන වෙළඳපොළ ආර්ථිකයන් සහිත රටවල් මලයාසියාව, තායිලන්තය, ඉන්දියාව වගේ රටවල් මෙම රටවල් වලට සාපේක්ෂව ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ මූර්ත පොලි අනුපාතික ඉහළ මට්ටමක පවතින්නේ. එයින් නිරූපණය වෙන්නේ අපේ මුදල් ප්‍රතිපත්තිය දැනටමත් දැඩි මට්ටමක එහෙම නැත්නම් දැඩි නැඹුරුවක පවතින බවයි මහා බැංකුව ප්‍රතිපත්ති පොලි අනුපාතික නොවෙනස්ව තබා ගැනීමට මෙයත් සලකා බැලූ සාධකයක්. අවසාන වශයෙන් ආර්ථිකයේ මුදල් අංශය සලකා බැලුවොත් ණය සහ මුදල් වර්ධනය අපි අපේක්ෂිත මට්ටමේ පවතිනවා. ණය වර්ධනය 14.3 දක්වා පෞද්ගලික අංශයට සපයන ලද ණය 14.3 දක්වා අගෝස්තු මාසයේදී අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. පුළුල් මුදල් සැපයුමත් 13.5 දක්වා අගෝස්තු මාසය දක්වා වන විට අඩු වෙලා තිනවා. මේ අනුව ආර්ථිකයේ මුදල් අංශයේ ඉහළ ස්ථායීතාවක් පවතින බව ශ්‍රී ලංකා මහා බැංකුව නිරීක්ෂණය කරනවා. මෙම සාධක සියල්ල එකට සලකා බලලා ශ්‍රී ලංකා මහා බැංකුවේ මුදල් මණ්ඩලය ප්‍රතිපත්ති පොලි අනුපාතික නොවෙනස්ව තබා ගැනීමට තීරණය කරා. ඒ අනුව නිත්‍ය තැන්පතු පහසුකම් අනුපාතිකය 7.2.5 මට්ටමෙත්, නිත්‍ය ණය පහසුකම් අනුපාතිකය 8.5 මට්ටමෙත්, ව්‍යවස්ථාපිත සංචිත අනුපාතය 7.5 මට්ටමෙත් නොවෙනස්ව පවත්වා ගැනීමට මහා බැංකුව තීරණය කරා. මෙම තීරණය මහා බැංකුවේ මූලික අභිප්‍රාය වන උද්දමනය මැදි තනියාගයක පවත්වා ගනිමින් ආර්ථිකයේ වර්ධන ක්‍රියාවලියට දායක වන්නට හේතු වෙන ඇතයි මහා බැංකුව විශ්වාස කරනවා. බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
அனைவருக்கும் காலை வணக்கங்கள். நாணய சபையானது நேற்று நடைபெற்ற அதன் கூட்டத்தில் மத்திய வங்கியின் கொள்கை வட்டி வீதங்களை மாற்றமின்றி அதே மட்டத்தில் பேணுவதென தீர்மானித்துக் கொண்டது. இவ்வாறான தீர்மானத்திற்கு பல்வேறு உள்நாட்டு மற்றும் வெளிநாட்டு பொருளாதாரங்களில் ஏற்பட்ட அபிவிருத்திகள், அண்மைக்கால அபிவிருத்திகள் கவனத்தில் எடுத்துக்கொள்ளப்பட்ட பொழுதிலும் பொருளாதார வளர்ச்சிக்கு ஆதரவளிக்கும் வகையிலே பணவீக்கத்தினை நடு ஒற்றை இலக்க மட்டத்தில் தொடர்ந்தும் பேணுவது என்ற நோக்கத்தின் அடிப்படையில் அதற்கு ஒத்திசைவாக இந்த கொள்கை தீர்மானமானது மேற்கொள்ளப்பட்டது. உலக பொருளாதாரத்தினை பொறுத்தவரையிலே தொடர்ச்சியாக வலுவடைந்து வருகின்ற டாலர் மற்றும் ரிசர்வ் வங்கியினால், அமெரிக்க ரிசர்வ் வங்கியினால் தொடர்ச்சியாக வட்டி வீதங்கள் அதிகரிக்கப்பட்டதன் காரணமாக இந்த நிலைமையானது தோற்றம் பெற்று வரும் சந்தை பொருளாதாரங்களில் ஒரு பொருளாதார சிக்கலுக்கு வழிவகுத்தது. இந்த தோற்றம் பெற்று வரும் பொருளாதாரங்கள் இந்த அழுத்தத்திற்கு முகம் கொடுக்கும் வகையிலே தமது வட்டி வீதங்களை மேல்நோக்கி அதிகரித்து நாணய கொள்கையை இறுக்கமாக்குவதன் மூலமாக இந்த அழுத்தங்களை சமாளிப்பதற்கு எத்தனித்து வருகின்றன. இதற்கு மேலதிகமாக தொடர்ச்சியாக அதிகரித்து வருகின்ற பன்னாட்டு எண்ணெய் விலைகளும் இந்த உலக பொருளாதார சிக்கல்களுக்கு மேலும் பாதகமான நிலைமையை ஏற்படுத்துகின்ற ஒரு அபிவிருத்தியாகவே காணப்படுகின்றது. இலங்கையின் வெளிநாட்டுத் துறையினை பொறுத்தவரையிலே ஒரு கலப்பான செயலாற்றம் ஆண்டின் முதல் 7 மாதங்களில் பதிவு செய்யப்பட்டுள்ளது. இறக்குமதியின் வளர்ச்சியானது ஏற்றுமதியின் வளர்ச்சியை விட மிகவும் அதிகமாக காணப்படுவதனால் தொடர்ச்சியாக வர்த்தக பற்றாக்குறையானது அதிகரித்து வருவதனை காணக்கூடியதாக இருக்கின்றது. பணிகள் கணக்கினை பொறுத்தவரையிலே சுற்றுலா துறை தொடர்பான வருவாய்கள் தொடர்ச்சியாக ஒரு ஆரோக்கியமான வளர்ச்சியினை பதிவு செய்து காணப்படுகின்றன. அரச பிணையங்கள் சந்தையில் இருந்து முதலீடுகளின் வெளிப்பாய்ச்சல்கள் காணப்படுவதன் காரணமாகவும் இறக்குமதிகள் தொடர்ச்சியாக அதிகரித்து வருவதன் காரணமாகவும் வெளிநாட்டு சூழ்நிலையிலே தொடர்ச்சியாக வலுவடைந்து வருகின்ற டொலரின் பெறுமதி போன்றவற்றுடன் ஒத்திசைந்து இலங்கையின் ரூபாவின் மீது ஒரு அழுத்தத்தினை உருவாக்கியிருந்தன. அந்த வகையிலே ஆண்டில் தற்போது காலப்பகுதி வரை இலங்கை ரூபாவானது 9.7% ஒரு வீழ்ச்சியினை பதிவு செய்து காணப்படுகின்றது. இந்த நாணய மாற்று வீதம் தொடர்பான அழுத்தத்திற்கு பதிலிருத்தும் வகையிலே மத்திய வங்கியும் அரசாங்கமும் பல்வேறு கொள்கை வழிமுறைகளை அண்மை காலத்தில் மேற்கொண்டு வருகின்றன. அந்த அடிப்படையிலே 29ஆம் ஆண்டு செப்டம்பர் மாதத்திலிருந்து நடைமுறைக்கு வரும் வகையிலே இறக்குமதிகளை கட்டுப்படுத்துகின்ற வகையிலே தனிப்பட்ட வாகன இறக்குமதிகள் மீதான நாணய கடிதங்கள் மீதான எல்லை தேவைப்பாடு 200% அதிகரிக்கப்பட்டது மாத்திரமன்றி அத்தியாவசியமற்ற நுகர்வுப் பொருட்கள் மீதான இறக்குமதிகள் மீதான காசு எல்லை தேவைப்படுத்தப்பட்டமை மற்றும் சலுகை அடிப்படையிலான வாகன இறக்குமதிகள் தற்காலிகமாக இடைநிறுத்தப்பட்டமை மற்றும் சலுகை அடிப்படையிலான வாகனங்கள் மீது நாணய கடிதம் ஒன்று ஆரம்பிக்கப்படுவதனை தற்காலிகமாக தடுத்து வைத்தல் போன்ற பல்வேறு நடைமுறைகள் அண்மை காலத்தில் கொள்கை வழிமுறைகளாக நடைமுறைப்படுத்தப்பட்டு வருகின்றன. இந்த வழிமுறைகள் டொலர் மீதான கேள்வியினை தளர்வடைய செய்யும் எனவும் இலங்கை ரூபாவின் வீழ்ச்சி தொடர்பான ஒரு அழுத்தத்திலே தளர்வடைய செய்யும் எனவும் எதிர்பார்க்கப்படுகின்றது. உள்நாட்டு பொருளாதார வளர்ச்சியினை ஒப்பிடும் பொழுது 2017ஆம் ஆண்டின் 2ஆம் காலாண்டு பகுதியிலே 3.7%, 2017ஆம் ஆண்டின் 1ஆம் ஆண்டு காலப்பகுதியிலே திருத்தி அமைக்கப்பட்ட 3.5% வளர்ச்சியினையும் இலங்கை பொருளாதாரமானது பதிவு செய்து காணப்படுகின்றது. இருந்த பொழுதிலும் தொடர்ச்சியான போட்டித்தன்மை வாய்ந்த நாணய மாற்று வீதம், தாழ்வான பணவீக்க வீதம் மற்றும் தற்பொழுது நடைமுறைப்படுத்தப்பட்டு வருகின்ற அமைப்பியல் ரீதியான சீர்திருத்தங்கள் போன்றவற்றிற்கு பதிலிருக்கும் வகையிலே நடுத்தர காலத்தில் இலங்கையின் பொருளாதார வளர்ச்சியானது மீழ்ச்சியடையும் என எதிர்பார்க்கப்படுகின்றது. அண்மை காலத்தில் சில விலை அழுத்தங்கள் காணப்பட்ட பொழுதிலும் செப்டம்பர் மாதத்தில் பணவீக்கமானது ஒரு வீழ்ச்சியினை பதிவு செய்து காணப்படுகின்றது. உள்நாட்டு பெட்ரோலிய விலை தொடர்பான மேல்நோக்கிய சீர்திருத்தங்கள் மற்றும் அதனுடன் தொடர்பட்ட நிர்வாக விலைகள் சிலவற்றின் மேல்நோக்கிய சீர்திருத்தங்கள் மற்றும் இலங்கை ரூபாவின் வீழ்ச்சியினால் உருவாக்கப்பட்ட இறக்குமதி செய்யப்பட்ட பணவீக்கம் போன்றவற்றின் காரணமாக எதிர்வரும் மாதங்களில் சில மேல்நோக்கிய அழுத்தங்கள் காணப்படும் என்ற பொழுதிலும் தொடர்ச்சியாக வீழ்ச்சியடைந்து வருகின்ற உணவு பணவீக்கம் மற்றும் சாதகமான தளத்தாக்கம் போன்றவற்றின் காரணமாக தொடர்ந்து வரும் காலம் பகுதியிலே பணவீக்கமானது மிதமான மட்டத்திலேயே காணப்படும் என எதிர்பார்க்கப்படுகின்றது. சந்தை வட்டி வீதங்களை பொறுத்தவரையிலே சந்தையில் காணப்படுகின்ற பற்றாக்குறை திரவத்தன்மையினை பிரதிபலித்து அண்மை காலத்தில் குறுங்கால சந்தை வட்டி வீதங்கள் ஒரு உயர்ச்சியினை பதிவு செய்து காணப்படுகின்றன. அதே போல அரச பிணையங்கள் சந்தையிலும் ஒரு அதிகரிப்பு ஒன்று காணப்படுகின்றது. ஏனைய கடன் வழங்கல் வீதங்கள் தொடர்ச்சியாக ஒரு உயர்ந்த மட்டத்திலேயே காணப்படுகின்றது. அதே போல உண்மை வட்டி வீதத்தினை நோக்கும் பொழுது தொடர்ச்சியாக அது ஒரு அதிகரித்த மட்டத்தில் காணப்பட்டு ஏனைய தோட்டம் பெற்று வருகின்ற சந்தை பொருளாதாரங்களில் ஒப்பிடும் பொழுது அதிகமாக காணப்பட்டு இலங்கையின் நாணய கொள்கையானது தொடர்ந்தும் இறுக்கமான மட்டத்தில் காணப்படுவதனை எடுத்து காட்டுகின்றது. இவ்வாறான பேரண்ட பொருளாதார அபிவிருத்திகளை கவனத்தில் எடுத்து வளர்ச்சிக்கு ஆதரவளிக்கின்ற வகையிலே நடுத்தர காலத்தில் பணவீக்கத்தினை தாழ்ந்ததும் நடுவொற்றை இலக்க மட்டத்திலும் பேணுவது என்ற நோக்கின் அடிப்படையிலே நாணய சபையானது அதன் வட்டி வீதங்களை தற்போதைய மட்டத்தை தொடர்ந்து பேணுவதற்காக தீர்மானித்தது. நன்றி.
Thank you very much to my colleagues. As is customary, let me just make a few observations and then we can have a Q&A session. And after I speak, I'll also ask the Senior Deputy Governor to say a few words. As in the past, what I'm going to do is to try and give you a flavor of the discussion that took place at the Monetary Board and the discussion which eventually led to the Monetary Board deciding to leave its policy rates unchanged. Now, there were a number of factors which continued to favor keeping the policy rates on hold. One is this relatively slow growth, the relatively muted growth, and the output gap that persists. That clearly argues in favor of keeping the policy rates on hold and not raising them. The second factor is the tight liquidity conditions in the market, and raising rates and tightening liquidity further would be counterproductive at this point. The third factor is that there are high nominal and real interest rates at the moment. And so we are in a kind of neutral stance verging towards tight. And at this point, with growth below 4%, clearly it's not advisable to tighten any further. So that's another reason for keeping the rates on hold. And fourth reason is the fact that inflation is very much within our target. The September headline inflation rate has come down to 4.3%, and as you know, our target range is 4 to 6%. And the core inflation, which monetary policy can influence, is now less than 3%. So inflation is well contained, growth is relatively muted, plus money supply and credit growth are moderating and are at levels we are comfortable with. So these are the reasons arguing for keeping rates on hold. Now, there are also one or two reasons why one could argue for an increase in rates. And those tend to be oriented more towards the external front. One is rising international interest rates. As you know, the Federal Reserve is normalizing its interest rates, and as you saw in the presentation, they've already had 3 increases this year and are likely to have another one in December and possibly 3 more next year. So rates are going up abroad, and therefore the inflation differential between ourselves and the global risk-free rates, which are the benchmark US Treasury rates, is getting compressed. So the incentive for people to invest money, particularly institutional investors, to put money into Sri Lankan rupee instruments is being reduced. So should we adjust for that? That is one reason for increasing, one case for increasing rates. And in link to this normalization of interest rates in the US and also anticipated tightening in Europe as well next year, and some slight tightening in Japan, all of which will mean that money will flow out of emerging markets, there is again a case for saying, let's raise interest rates. So normalization of interest rates, the strength of the dollar, the outflows of money from emerging markets, all this argues for an interest rate increase. Another factor in favor of increasing interest rates is the fact that the trade deficit has been increasing. Now, so on balance, the Monetary Board decided to keep rates on hold. So what are some of the reasons why it did so? Why did it come out in favor of keeping rates on hold rather than increasing interest rates, particularly to protect the rupee? So let me take that particular narrative initially. As you know, from the presentation you would have seen that other countries have used the interest rate to defend their currency. Indonesia has increased its interest rate 5 times this year. Philippines 4 times, the Reserve Bank of India twice. But you have to understand that there are significant differences between the conditions in those economies and our economy. What are those differences? Those economies have higher growth rates. India grew at 8% in the second quarter of 2018. Philippines and Indonesia are at about 5% plus. Not only did they have higher growth rates, but they also had lower nominal and real interest rates. So our monetary policy stance is already tighter than theirs. The Indonesian, you have to be a little careful because they have different benchmark rates, but the Indonesian benchmark rates at 5.75, Philippines 4.5, RBI 6.5, we are 8.5 already. So we already have a greater tightening bias in our monetary policy than those countries. So with growth more muted in Sri Lanka than in those countries, and monetary policy tighter than in those countries, clearly the case for tightening monetary policy further is not as strong as it is in those countries. So that is one of the main reasons why the Monetary Board decided not to increase interest rates. Another factor, which the Senior Deputy Governor has explained on a number of times, is you have to ask the question, by increasing interest rates, what is the outcome we will get? Can we attract money in to the country by increasing interest rates? Can we encourage the people who are already here to stay by increasing interest rates? And the answer to both those questions is no. When in the current conditions where there is money moving out of emerging markets, given that Sri Lanka is a twin deficit country, it has a budget deficit and a current account deficit. Current account is the balance of payments deficit. In such a situation, the chances of Sri Lanka attracting new money at this juncture is very minimal indeed. So then you have to ask the question, can we keep the people who are already here? We have $1.5 billion worth of institutional investment in rupee securities at the moment. By increasing interest rates, will we encourage those people to stay here? The answer to that also is no, because we will impose mark-to-market losses on those people and they will be incentivized to leave. So by increasing interest rates, we will not be able to attract new money. We will not be able to keep the people who are here, incentivized to keep the people who are here also intact. So given all that, the Monetary Board came to the conclusion that it would not increase interest rates to defend the currency, given our particular circumstances, which are different from those of other countries. So what has already been done by the government and the Monetary Board? There has been an accusation that both the central bank and the government have not really been very active, have been rather dormant, in fact, in terms of action. But the government and the central bank worked together to address some of the problems which were emerging in the trade account. The first was gold imports. As far back as April, the duty was adjusted to take away the arbitrage opportunity that there was there, because we had a zero duty and India had a 15% duty, and people were importing gold into Sri Lanka and smuggling across to India. And we've talked about this in the previous press conferences, and therefore the duty was adjusted to take away that arbitraging opportunity, and gold imports have come down dramatically. Then motor vehicles. First there was the tax on small vehicles was increased because there was a sharp increase in small motor vehicle imports, and also there was a 100% margin imposed on LCs open for non-commercial vehicles. Then subsequently you had the latest raft of measures where you've had a 200% margin requirement on motor vehicles and 100% margin requirement on selected non-essential goods. Now, there are people, I've told you why an interest rate defense was not good. There are people who have said that by imposing these margin requirements, that we are interfering with the choices of people. It has also been said that in previous periods there have not been such problems. Let me recall that in 2015, under this government, about 3.2 billion US dollars was spent to defend the rupee, and the rupee was depreciated by little under 10%, I think 9.5% anyway. So far, we've had a 9.5% depreciation, but on a net basis, so far, we have only spent 188 million as against 3.2 billion. Let us go back to 2011, 2012.
On a clarification, when you say 188
million, net basis, 188 million dollars sold into the market.
Since when?
January to 20, I mean the latest.
84.
Net basis, 184. 84. Oh, okay, sorry. It's come down to 184. He just reminded me we purchased 4 million yesterday. So as of yesterday, it is 184 million. Okay? So January to date, basically, till yesterday. So essentially, so the story in 2015 was much worse. We have protected reserves. We've only spent 184 million so far. In 2015, under this government, 3.2 billion was spent. And the depreciation was similar, 9.4, 9.5. 2011, 2012, and there's a lot of criticism that's being leveled at the central bank and the government, 4.1 billion was spent. And the rupee was depreciated by 15%. And it has been said that things was managed so well that nothing had to be done. Well, at that time, not only was the rupee depreciated by 15%, there was a credit ceiling imposed. There was an absolute ceiling on credit, which means it doesn't discriminate between luxury goods, essential goods, intermediate goods, capital goods. They all get hit when you have a credit ceiling. Whereas the measures which have been orchestrated this time have been very carefully selected so that you don't touch capital goods, you don't touch intermediate goods, you don't touch essential imports, you only are basically focusing on non-essential goods. So this is a far more nuanced and sophisticated intervention than a crude credit ceiling which was imposed in 2012. So I think that is something we need to remind ourselves. I think we tend to have very short memories in this country. So let me make that very clear. This is a better package than was introduced then. Then I hopefully there is, we hope now the situation will stabilize. If you look at what has happened, let's try to understand. On the exchange rate, I'm getting onto the exchange rate now. I would commend to you a YouTube video of the Senior Deputy Governor explaining on the exchange rate. And on our website now, there is a 45-minute Rupa Vahini program where he speaks about the exchange. I would recommend it to you. I would commend you all to listen so that you will understand what the exchange rate management is all about. Because there is a tremendous amount of misunderstanding and sometimes just plain ignorance about the exchange rate in this country. During my Commonwealth days, I have worked in about maybe 20, 25 countries. The attitude to the exchange rate in this country is unique because people think if the currency is depreciating, the economy is about to collapse. But is the economy about to collapse? Growth is low, but it is getting higher. The inflation is well within target. Our reserves have come down a little because of debt repayments and some intervention in the currency market, but we are anticipating $1 billion within a week from the CDB. We are hoping to raise 500 million more from the Panda bond and a Samurai bond. We are planning to have another ISB issuance before the end of this year. So there is plenty of money that's going to come in terms of reserves. So the reserves are okay, inflation is okay, growth is low but getting higher. So where is this economy collapsing? The exchange rate has depreciated by 9%. This is true. But the real effective exchange rate is now 100. So if we are serious about increasing exports, the only way we have got into this hole in terms of debt that is now a major millstone around the economy is to increase exports. so that we can repay this external debt burden. And having a competitive economy is competitive exchange rate is crucial for that. And when you have a competitive exchange rate, you stop subsidizing foreign producers at the expense of our own producers. An overvalued exchange rate, which is what we've had for years and years, which is why our imports are double our exports. One of the main reasons is this overvalued exchange rate we always have. And what do? We subsidize foreign producers at the expense of our own producers. Producers of exports, producers of import competing goods. So having a competitive exchange rate is critical to support our domestic producers. Why is it that we have these policies which end up with imports being double exports? Nothing wrong with having high imports. That is a certain level of import. That's okay. But then you must earn the money to pay for those imports. And we are not earning that money. And one of the reasons is we are consistently, our exchange rate has been overvalued. So now it has actually come to a competitive rate. But I understand that it can have an impact on the cost of living. And clearly, the inflation is a highly regressive tax on the poor and vulnerable, because the rich people have assets which increase in value with inflation, which act as a hedge. Poor people don't. So we have to take that into account. However, fortunately, this currency depreciation has come at a time when inflationary pressures are muted in the economy. Food price inflation in particular is very low. So though the currency depreciation may lead to maybe bus fare hikes, train fare hikes, maybe some imported items going up in price, the impact is relatively low because we've had fairly decent Yala and Maha harvests. And also things like potatoes and onions which we import, domestic production is competitive, so there is a limit beyond which import prices can go up. So competition in those markets is keeping prices down. Now, one of the reasons why we think that if the exchange rate depreciates, the whole world is going to come to an end, it harks back to a much earlier age. We were a classic dual economy in the colonial period. The colonial rulers concentrated on tea, rubber, and coconut and ignored the traditional economy. After independence, we had to import almost all of our rice. In 1952, we had to sign a barter agreement with the Chinese, the Rubber Rice Pact, to get rice from them. So in those days, when we imported much of our rice requirement, if you depreciated the currency, the price of rice went up. It hit people in the stomach. That's why the exchange rate is so sensitive in this country. But now, in a good rainfall year, we don't import any rice. Things have changed. Plus, things like potatoes and onions, we are producing more, which can compete with imports. So the whole scenario has changed in terms of the impact of the exchange rate on the cost of living. It still does. Please don't get me wrong. It does have an impact on the cost of living. But it is important to have a competitive exchange rate to get exports up. Without getting exports up, we are going to be in this mess in terms of debt forever and ever. So we have to have a competitive exchange rate. We have got to a competitive exchange rate. What in the central bank we will do is not allow disorderly adjustment of the exchange rate, like we had in September. For a few days in September, the intraday volatility went up to 0.4, 0.5%, and we intervened very aggressively to stop that. And we have also worked with the government to introduce other measures. And that's what we will do in the future as well. But please, in your writings, listen to the Senior Deputy Governor on those tapes. He gives in singular an excellent explanation of what exchange rate management is about. Please educate the people of this country about the exchange rate, because there is massive ignorance. And that is perpetuating the situation where our imports are double our exports. And we will never get out of this mess unless we understand how powerful an instrument the exchange rate is to help our local producers, producers of exports, producers of import competing goods. So let's get this right, and please help us to do so. Is that all I have to say? I think that's pretty much it. The other thing to say is what caused this pressure on the exchange rate? Was it due to the fact that we had inappropriate policies? Now, in 2015, one could argue that there was a fiscal slippage, loose fiscal policies, and accommodating monetary policies. Again, 2011, 2012, definitely large budget deficit and accommodating monetary policy, which contributed to basically the excess aggregate demand and the demand for dollars being greater than the supply. That's what happened then. This time, there has been no slippage on the fiscal, at least, fiscal performance has been broadly on track. There's been a primary surplus in the budget for only the second time since 1954 last year, and in the first 6-7 months of this year, again, there is a primary surplus. So the fiscal performance has been okay. Similarly, monetary policy, if anything, we have been on the tight side, not on the loose side. So you can't say that this pressure of outflows exceeding inflows was due to policy slippage. What happened was, because of external developments, because of US interest rate increases, because of the strength of the dollar, because of concerns about oil prices and its impact on this economy, money has gone, about $500 million has gone out of this economy. And that has put some pressure. Accommodating that demand for dollars has meant that there was insufficient supply and there was pressure on the exchange rate. But that was not triggered by loose monetary policy, not triggered by loose fiscal policy, but by developments outside the country. So that is very important to understand, that the cause of the problem is that. Then we must understand that once that starts happening and there is some depreciation of the currency, that given the psyche of the whole population regarding the exchange rate, people tend to overreact. So that exporters don't convert money, importers advance their purchases, and that creates even greater pressure on the exchange rate. And things were not helped by that very rather crude Nomura analysis, which used a very crude methodology and also indicators which did not reflect the true position of the Sri Lankan economy. And we have issued clarifying notes on that, which I hope all of you have seen, as to why we think that methodology was weak, and that also that those indicators were not giving a true reflection of the Sri Lankan economy's vulnerability. I'm not saying the economy is not vulnerable. It is a vulnerable economy, but not in the way they claimed it. That also added to the change in sentiment, which created pressure. So now, hopefully, we have come to a situation through aggressive intervention in the market, through various measures taken to curtail luxury imports, that we are now in a better position of greater balance, and that the pressure on the exchange rate will abate. So with that, Esther, do you want to say anything?
මම ඊටම කෙටියෙන් අධිපතිතුමා කිව්වාර හේතු මුදල් ප්‍රතිපත්තිය මේ ආකාරයෙන්ම තියා ගැනීමට අපි සලකා බලපු කරුණු සිංහලෙන් කෙටියෙන් මම හිතන්නේ එච්චර කළා ගන්න අපිට අවස්ථාව දෙන්න ඕන මේ ප්‍රශ්න වලට. පළවෙනි කාරණේ තමයි මුදල් පොලි අනුපාතය වැඩි කිරීම සහ වැඩි නොකිරීම දැන් කරුණු බැලුවාම එක පැත්තකින් පොලි අනුපාතය වැඩි කළ යුතුයි කියනකට තියෙන එකම වගේ කාරණේ තමයි අර විනිමය අනුපාතයේ තියෙන පීඩනය නිසා විශේෂයෙන් සමහර රටවල් ඉන්දියාව, ඉන්දුනීසියාව, පිලිපින වගේ රටවල පොලි අනුපාතය වැඩි කරා. එතකොට කෙනෙක් කියන්න පුළුවන් මේ ඇයි අපේ විතරක් ඒක වැඩි කරේ නැත්තේ කියන කාරණේ. ඉතින් එතෙන්දී මුදල් මණ්ඩලයේ සලකා බලු කාරණේ තමයි පොලි අනුපාතය සලකා බලනකොට උද්දමනය අතර සහ පොලි අනුපාත වෙනස සහ නාමික පොලි අනුපාත කියන දෙකම බැලුවාම ලංකාවේ පොලි අනුපාතය දැනටමත් ඉහළ මට්ටමක තියෙනවා. 8.5යි අපේ ප්‍රතිපත්ති පොලි අනුපාතය. ඉන්දුනීසියාව 6.75යි, ඉන්දියාවත් 6.5 වගේ ගණන් තියෙන්නේ. පිලිපින ඊටත් වඩා අඩුයි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ රටවල් දැනටමත් මුදල් ප්‍රතිපත්ති ලිහිල් එකේ ඉඳන් තමයි දැඩි මුදල් ප්‍රතිපත්තියගේ අපේ රටේ දැනටම මුදල් ප්‍රතිපත්තිය අපි දකින විදිහට දැඩි මුදල් ප්‍රතිපත්තියක් තියෙන. ඒක නිසා තවදුරටත් පොලි අනුපාත වැඩි කිරීම අවස්ථාවක් නැහැ කියන එක තමයි ඒ පැත්තෙන් බලුවාම. අනිත් කාරණේ තමයි දැන් බැංකු වලින් දෙන ප්‍රයිවට් සෙක්ටර් ක්‍රෙඩිට් අපි බලාපොරොත්තු ආකාරයට අඩු වෙගෙන ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. තවදුරටත් ඒක අඩු කරන්න අවස්ථාවක් නැහැ. තුන්වෙනි කාරණේ තමයි උද්දමනය සහ ආර්ථික වර්ධන වේගය කියන එක අපේ ආර්ථික වර්ධන වේගයේ රටවල සාපේක්ෂව බලනකොට සාපේක්ෂව ඉතා අඩු ප්‍රමාණයක් 4%කට කිට්ටුයි. ඉන්දියාවේ ගත්තොත් 8%ක් අනිත් රටවල් 5%ක් වගේ වැඩි වෙනවා. එතකොට ආර්ථික වර්ධන වේගය පැත්තෙන් ගත්තොත් පොලි අනුපාතය වැඩි කිරීමෙන් තවදුරටත් මේක අඩු වෙන්න නැඹුරුතාවක් තමයි ඉදිරියට තියෙන්නේ. ඒක නිසා තමයි එකක් හේතුව. අනිත් එක තමයි උද්දමනය වැඩි කියලා මහ බැංකුව දකින්න නම් අපි පොලි අනුපාතය වැඩි කරන්න ඕන. නමුත් අපි දකින්නේ නැහැ උද්දමනය දැනට තියෙන අපේ තියෙන 4.6 මට්ටමේ 4 මට්ටමේ වගේ තමයි පවත්වාගෙන යන්නේ. ඉතින් එතන ඉදිරියටත් මේ තියෙන විනිමය අනුපාතයේ බලපෑම සහ යම් දේව තෙල් මිල වැඩි වුණොත් යම්කිසි ආකාරයක කෙටි කාලින වැඩි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් පොලි අනුපාතයෙන් ඒක කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඒක අපේ මේ ෆෝකාස්ට් එකේ විදියට මේක කොහොමද 4.6 මට්ටමේ පවත්වා ගන්න පුළුවන් ඉතින් පහසුවෙන්. ඉතින් ඒ කරුණු සලකා බලලා තමයි විශේෂයෙන් මුදල් මණ්ඩලය තීරණය කරේ මේ දැනට පවතින පොලි අනුපාත ප්‍රතිපත්තිය තමයි අදාළ ප්‍රතිපත්තිය. ඒ නිසා මේක වැඩි කිරීමට අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් ඒ මට්ටමේම තියාගන්න ඕන කියන එක. අනිත් කාරණේ තමයි අධිපතිතුමා විශේෂයෙන් සඳහන් කරේ. මොකද මේ මෑත කාලේදී විනිමය අනුපාතය අපේ රටේ මේ ආකාරයට සහ සමාන රටවල් වල විශේෂයෙන් අපනයන ආදායම සෝ විදේශ විනිමය ඉපයීම රටක අඩු වෙනකොට විදේශ විනිමය වියදමට වඩා ඒතර ඒ වගේ රටවල් වල මේ වගේ අවස්ථාවලදී දීර්ඝකාලීනව විනිමය අනුපාතය අවප්‍රමාණය වෙන යම්කිසි ආකාරයකට ක්‍රමානුකූලව. නමුත් මර සැප්තැම්බර් මාසෙ වුණා වගේ එක සැරේටම අනවශ්‍ය විදිහට අවශ්‍ය වෙච්ච වෙලාවවලදී මහ බැංකුව මැදිහත් වෙලා ඒක පාලනය කරනවා. ඉදිරියටත් ඒක තමයි ප්‍රතිපත්තිය. ඉතින් එතෙන්දී අපි දැක්කේ අර විශේෂයෙන් විනිමය අනුපාතය අප්‍රමාණය වීම ගැන එක මත තියෙනවා රටේ. විශේෂයෙන් සඳහන් කරන්න තියෙන විනිමය අනුපාතය යම්කිසි ආකාරයකට තරංකාරීව පවත්වාගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් ආකාරයට අප්‍රමාණය වෙන එක රටේ ආර්ථික වර්ධනයට සහ විශේෂයෙන් අපනයන සහ ආනයන සමග තරං කරන දේශීය නිෂ්පාදන වලට විශේෂයෙන් යම්කිසි ආකාරයක තරංකාරී බවක් වැඩි වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒකෙන් යම්කිසි මැදිහා දීර්ඝකාලීනව ඒක ආර්ථිකයට හොඳ දෙයක්. ඊට අමතරව පොලි අනුපාතය වැඩි කරොත් වෙන්නේ ආර්ථික වර්ධනය යම්කිසි ආකාරයක අඩු කරන තත්ත්වයක්. ඒක නිසා තමයි මේ පැත්ත බලලා විනිමය අනුපාතය යම්කිසි ආකාරයකට ඕනට වැඩි නෙවෙයි යම්කිසි ආකාරයකට තරංකාරී ආර්ථිකයක් රඳවා ගැනීමට මේක අත්‍යවශ්‍ය දෙයක් කියන එක. ඒක මේ අද ඊයේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෙවෙයි. මේක දීර්ඝකාලීනව තියෙන අපේ රටේ විනිමය විදේශ විනිමය උපයන කර්මාන්ත වල අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වුණ ආකාරයට විශාල වැඩිවීමක් දකින්න ලැබුණේ නැහැ. අනිත් කාරණේ තමයි විශේෂයෙන් සඳහන් කරේ විනිමය අනුපාතය පාලනය කිරීමේදී මහ බැංකුවේ ප්‍රතිපත්තිය මේ වසරේ කරපු ආකාරයට අපේ තියෙන සංචිත විශාල වශයෙන් විදන් කරන්නේ නැතිව යම්කිසි ආකාරයක ඒකත් රැකගෙන ගමන් විනිමය අනුපාතය අපේ තරංකාරී රටවල් සමග සැසඳෙන ආකාරයට යම්කිසි ආකාරයකට යන්න ඉඩ දීලා තියෙනවා. අවශ්‍යතාවයක් වුණොත් ඕනට වැඩිය අර ඩිසෝඩර්ලි ඇඩ්ජස්ට්මන්ට් කියන අවස්ථාවක් ආවොත් විතරක් මහ බැංකුව මැදිහත් වෙලා ඒක පාලනය කරන්න කටයුතු කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ මාතරව කෙටි කාලීනව මේ තියෙන ඒ විනිමය අනුපාතය වෙනස් වීම නිසා ඇතිවෙච්ච අමතර ඉල්ලුම සමනය කිරීමට තමයි රජය විසින් සහ මහ බැංකුව විසින් යම්කිසි ආකාරයක මම දකිනවා මේක මුල්‍ය ප්‍රතිපත්තිය දෙයක්. ඒක ආනයන සීමා කිරීමට වැඩිය යම්කිසි දෙයක් non essential හෝ motor vehicles කියන ආනයන කරනවා නම් Taman අතේ තියෙන මුදල් පාවිච්චි කළොන කෙනෙක්ට ගේන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක තමයි පළවෙනි කාරණය. මොකද මේක මුල්‍ය ප්‍රතිපත්තිය ගත්තොත් ණයක් අරගෙන ඉම්පෝට් කරනට වැඩිය තමන්ගේ අතේ තියෙන මුදලෙන් ඉම්පෝට් කරන්න කිසි බාධාවක් නැහැ. ඊට අමතරව අනිත් එක තමයි vehicle permits අර concession සහනදායි බලපත්‍රයක රජයේ තීරණයක්. ඉතින් ඒක මම හිතන්නේ වැදගත් තීරණයක්. සහනදායි උඟ කලට දැක්කේ විදේශ උඟ දිනෙක මේ permit එක ලැබෙන නිසා කොහොමත් මේක ආනයන කරන්න පටන් ගත්තා. ගොඩ දෙනෙක් අර මේ එක්ස්චේන්ජ් රේට් එකේ ඩිප්‍රිසියේෂන් එක දැක්කහම අපි දැකලා තියෙනවා මේ වාහන ආනයන කරන අයත් කියනවා හැමෝටම දැම්මම ওই පර්මිට් එක අරන් ගාලා LC ඕපන් කරන්න මේක තව ටිකක් මේ කියලා. ඒක නිසාම යම් කිසි ආකාරයක අනවශ්‍ය විදියට අත්‍යවශ්‍ය නොවන ඉල්ලුමක් පැවතිය. මං හිතන්නේ ඒක තමයි හේතුව මේක తాවකාලිකව අත්හිටවන්නේ. මං හිතන්නේ ඒක ඉදිරියේදී තත්ත්වය සමන වුණාම ගම රජය ගැන නැවත සලකා බලයි.
One observation that I meant to make to address a couple of things. The question has been asked, how is it that countries like Ethiopia and Bangladesh haven't had any pressure on their exchange rate and we have had? That is, not a very good understanding of the situation, because those are low-income countries. They finance their external requirements with foreign aid. They don't go to markets and borrow. They don't have institutional investors coming in to invest in their domestic securities. It's a completely different situation. They are low-income countries not exposed to international capital markets. Sri Lanka, when we were in that situation, we also didn't have this type of pressure. We had pressure through prices, commodity prices, etc., oil prices, or our price, tea price coming down, there were pressure. But we didn't have this kind of pressure because of our exposure to international capital markets when we were low-income countries. So certainly the Ethiopias and Bangladeshis won't have this kind of pressure because they're not exposed to capital markets. But we are now a low-middle-income country, not a low-income country. We graduated actually in 2008 or 9. During the previous administration. So we're in a different situation, a situation that is known to be different. So clearly we will be under different pressures as the country in this category. That's why you have this situation. Yes, that's right. Because during the Asian crisis, we didn't have any pressure because we had no exposure to capital markets. Because we were a low-income country, all the money was foreign aid. From the ADB, the World Bank, from Japan, etc. Not markets. Now we have exposure to markets, significant exposure to markets, which started building up from about 2009. So that's why, Bangladesh and Ethiopia are not affected, but we are. In the 90 Asian crisis, Thailand and Malaysia and Indonesia were affected, but we were not. Because we were also like Bangladesh and Ethiopia, a low-income country.